Hello, it's May, and I cannot believe how fast the time is passing, but here we are. This month is just FYC season month. I mean, May is really when the industry is in the throes of it. So that is basically all this month's video is gonna be. The reason why I filmed all of these events is because I just think it's a unique glimpse into the industry that you don't otherwise have. The structure of these is you show up and you wait in a line and then doors open and you go inside the theater or the venue and you watch an episode or possibly two of the show, and then they bring out a panel of actors and occasionally the director or writer or people from the wardrobe or set department. They bring them onto the stage for a panel for a Q&A, and then afterwards there's a reception for the people that attended. So there is food a lot of times on theme for the show. Occasionally you get really lucky and the actors that were at the panel will mingle with the TV Academy members afterwards, which is always really special. So I have gotten to interact with some really fun people this season. These are just some of the highlights. I hope you enjoy that.
I trained as a dancer all the way up to I'm becoming a writer, and then I stopped dancing because I was getting paid to do something.
I'm not a strong swimmer. Sorry. I know how these things go. Well, I mean, you know, what's very clear about their writing is that they write characters who are, you know, have a need and an urgency that is that really revs the motor up, and they're, you know, it felt like you know, a person who felt like, you know, if they stopped for too long to think about anything, the world might swallow them whole.
And get ready, it's going to be the first note you're going to get and get over and over again is faster. And because we worked together for 7 years, and I was so used to the rhythm required that when I was done with that job, I got a new series in Canada, and the director kept telling me, you don't have to speak that fast.
So I guess YouTube is trying to get in on the whole Emmys situation, because tonight I'm going to a YouTube themed event, but I'm kind of pumped because there's some pretty, in my eyes, iconic people that are going to be screening portions of their episodes on YouTube and at the panel later. So we've got Sean Evans from Hot Ones. He's a legend in the industry and on YouTube. But then Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning are going to be there, and Michelle Carre from her channel Challenge Accepted. I hope I get to meet some of them. I'm very excited, and let's go! So the event is at the Pacific Design Center, and I'm just kind of wandering around this place because I've never been here. And I think I might get lost. This is where the rich people go to look at exhibitions of how they could design their homes. Is this a kitchen? Wow. Look at all those shower heads. Wow, that's a tiny tub. That's tiny. This is kind of cool. Look at this pool table. None of this is my aesthetic, but it's very much giving. I'm rich. Look at my designed house. You go. That chair. I want that chair. That apple? Yup. Needs to be in my house.
a team that allows us to build a show over time that works, and YouTube was the only place where we could do that. Sorry, YouTube, you were our only option. Actually, technically, when we were coming up, YouTube was one of many options, and we uploaded all of them. Sorry, YouTube.
In contrast to the sizzle that you guys just saw, I am a person who's actually very fearful and anxious most of the time, and Challenge Accepted was actually born for me out of listing all of my fears on a whiteboard and then pairing them with different situations to genuinely try and overcome these fears. And so over the course of the show, we've done everything from collaborating with the FBI and going to FBI Academy, to being one of the first shows ever allowed to film with the Secret Service, to last year I trained for 6 weeks to learn Harry Houdini's deadliest magic trick.
Back then, I'm not sure I had these kinds of aspirations for the show when we first started, but I can take you back even longer than that. It's always been a dream of mine to create a legacy talk show that has a sustained cultural relevance.
And then I met everyone's favorite YouTube skincare mother/goddess, the incredible Cassandra Bankson, who left us all with this wonderful PSA.
Elena told me that you guys wear your sunscreen every day and have a pretty good skin. Yes, we do. We're watching some amazing YouTubers who build their shows, but we ran into an amazing YouTuber. Oh, thank you. Mwah.
Unsurprisingly, YouTube knows how to entertain, and I'm walking away with take-home food, so success. We're getting shuttled from the hotel to the theater, so that's what Netflix is doing today.
I think I have to make my own version without being too influenced. Now it's back on Netflix. I prepared myself one night to watch it and I got scared.
Were you always going to be part of it in front of the screen as well?
Yes, this I always was hoping to be a part of.
Yeah.
And then I booked it.
What was the audition like?
Rigorous. Yeah.
This crew took it upon themselves this was going to be the best scene they had ever done. And everything had to be perfect. And the dolly track had to be perfect, and the lighting had to be perfect, and the walls and the set deck and everything was and everybody was very quiet and very just wanting to do their absolute best work for this scene, and it was a really moving thing to witness.
Well, when she arrived in Canada and was reunited with her family, she was still processing so much emotion. Her trauma was very fresh. She went through so much in Gilead, and it's similar to what Maddie said about, almost not being able to believe that she's still standing.
Yeah. Oh God, it's always really interesting to talk about Serena because it's just so difficult. I think so much of her journey has to do with June's belief in Serena that she can ultimately change, and that never wavered.
Most of the movies, they don't
Why was that so good? Why do I feel like I understand what the Mormons are all about? Look how pretty these roses are that they gave out in solidarity of the handmaids. Also, I cannot get over these cake pop handmade bonnets that they had and that they had so many of. They were like, please take them off our hands. I walked home with a container. I'm making my way through that container. These are very good cake pops. Cheers to the handmaids. They got out. Cheers to the revolution.
Thank you for joining us for tonight's special screening of Deli Boys.
We were in Chicago and we were going to shoot a scene on Friday. It's Thursday. Thursday night, there's a shootout at that location. So
a Chicago special, as they call it.
Yes. And so the person responsible, they're like, there was a shootout, but I invite everyone to come to work on Friday. And people were like, fuck that shit. But we lost the location. And you know, when you're shooting a pilot, every day is so precious. So Nisha, with Lon, went out and Jesse scouted
on Thursday
Devon
night.
Street.
They just walked on Devon Street.
In Little India.
We just went to Little India and I was like, there's an uncle around here that's going to let us shoot.
I went to, I knocked on Abdullah's door, first time I met him, and I was like, yo dude, I gotta talk to you about the script.
He brought some treats.
Yeah, I found out that he's made a career out of weed. And so I went to the nearest dispensary and I bought the most expensive blunt I could find. And I knocked on his door and I was like, hi, I'm Sagar Sheikh, nice to meet you. I got you a little gift. And he's like, oh, thanks, dude, we gotta smoke that shit, man.
What really popped for me was, all of these characters had depth. I think a lot of us, people look like us, are put in positions on shows. Whether the show's amazing or not, you're happy to have a job, but oftentimes it's like, hey, you're either the funny person or the drama person, and they just get to see like a sliver of the full scope of your ability or what you can bring to something.
Good evening, coming to you live with another kitchen counter report. They had a Deli Boys vending machine, and you got to go to the vending machine and get what I presume to be a very authentic snack, which is cheese balls, masala cheese flavor. It's the next day and I can't stop myself anymore. I have to try these. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Here we go. Oh, they have a little spice to them. I like these. When else in my life would I have ever had the opportunity to try these? Cute.
Do you mind? Oh, hold on. Never take her microphone. She has the voice of an angel. If you want to sing, it's totally
Yeah, please.
She will. Don't tempt her. Christine actually sang that to me backstage, just so you know. Yeah. I asked her for a favor.
Because I feel that way about you too.
Yes. The trailer, I'm a Canadian. Thank you.
That means you're super nice.
And I don't
The Canadians are so polite.
It's something we can't help.
with us. They knew how special the subject material was. Working with these guys is like a fine. I would say it's like a B-.
I remember reading the email and it was like offer, and that's in big caps, Mindy Kaling, and immediately I was like, ooh, yes. And then when I read the synopsis, I knew immediately, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this show, and I hope the script is good.
As a lifelong Wicker fan, when I sat down and I chatted with Mindy, Ike, and Dave, first of all, within 5 minutes, I was like, I will do anything. Do you need a PA? Do you need me to pull cable? What do you need?
Tonight's FYC is interesting because it's being hosted directly on the Warner Brothers lot. We're gonna go down there and we're gonna see what that whole experience is like. I feel like this whole FYC season has been a really nice variety of different venues. It's the same layout. I don't know if anyone's getting tired of the, oh look, here we are at the venue and here's the actors talking about it, and oh wow, look, you're eating food, you know? It's kind of all the same, but it's all different.
I don't know if it's a surprise, but something that's been really rewarding about how Audiences Connected is our producing director, Demaine Davis, live tweets every episode, and we still call it Twitter. And then she says that as she's live tweeting, people are sort of being like, I have this, or I've dealt with this, or I've been through this.
I would echo that. I mean, people that I've met along the way who either themselves have dealt with some of the issues, or I think the other interesting thing is that it doesn't obviously only affect the patient, right? It also affects the people who are in the lives of those patients, and so I think that's a big part of it as well. People see family members or loved ones in the stories that we're telling, even if they're not exactly dialed into the specific case.
It's the Warner Brothers Tower, but at night. Imagine that. That's what it looks like. Shocker, the footage of this event does not include food because sadly, the food at Warner Brothers was a little bit underwhelming. The venue was nice, the theater was nice, the pictures at Warner Brothers were nice, so that made up for it. So I'm snacking at home, and sometimes that'll do, because I'm grateful I got to attend an event. Well, I think on the couch with a nap is where I am going to end this video and this month and the 2025 FYC Emmy season. It's been a really fun one, and I got to attend a lot of really unique events and meet a lot of awesome actors and people in the industry, and I hope that the two people who watch these videos, my mom and my sister, have enjoyed getting to re-watch all the snippets that I already texted them anyway. And if you're somebody new here and you happen to stumble upon this video and you thought this was interesting, I'm so glad you're here and you watched this, and if you want to keep tuning in, I would love to continue sharing my life here in LA. I will see you next month. Good night.